Oakville and Burlington are living in bizarre world. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, what is supposed to happen when sales go down is not happening. The opposite of what's supposed to happen is happening. Sales are down. Sales are down 38% just in a couple of months, but prices keep going up. I'm going to share with you prices for detached homes and freehold townhouses and a bunch of other things. By the way, this video was requested by somebody, so hopefully you find it useful. So let's get into the numbers. Sales are down back to what was happening in the winter time. You can see here 179 homes sold in July, and we are sitting right around what happened in the month of February. They sold 178. That is a 38% drop from what was happening only 2 months ago. In May, there were 288 homes sold. So sales are down, but the opposite is happening with detached homes. Freehold townhouses are down, but detached homes, this is the highest price we've seen all year. In July, average price for a detached house was $2.15 million, and that is the highest price. You can see here it has been going up every single month. We started the year off right below $1.8 million. So detached homes are doing okay. Freehold townhouses, they're not. They have started to come down just like homes sold. They are following what is supposed to happen, not bizarre world. Peak of the market for a freehold townhouse was back in April, not May. Back in April, they were selling for $1.33 million, and now we're sitting at $1.17 million for a freehold townhouse in Oakville in July. Okay, and condos average prices, I always say this, condos in Oakville are very hard to cover, at least for average prices, because Oakville has a whole bunch of multi-million dollar condos. So sometimes 3, 4 of them will sell in 1 month, which skyrockets the average, and then they don't sell in the next month, which crashes the market. But it does not mean the market fell $400,000 in 1 month. It just means that the million-dollar homes didn't sell, condos. So you can see here, like it makes no sense, but it did happen. Back in February, that was the highest price for a condo, at least average price. That was $1.15 million, and now in July, they're sitting at $811,000. So we're not done. I want to share some stats with you guys that might be helpful in understanding which way the market's going. But if you need help buying or selling in Oakville, you can call or text this number. I lived in Oakville for a brief time, a little too expensive for me, so I'm not there anymore. But here are some key stats that I want to share with you guys, because every time you stop by, I want to make it at least worth your while. So I want to add some value to the videos, because I want to show you stuff that you might not be getting anywhere else. So at least it's worth your while stopping by. Active listings right now in Oakville, there are 614 homes available on the Toronto MLS. 435 of them have been on the market for longer than 2 weeks. 365 of them have been on the market for longer than 3 weeks. The reason I show this was because you won't see the stat come up, because all they want to show you is what's selling in 3 days, $200,000 over asking, because that makes it look like, wow, awesome job, let me hire this guy. But that's not the case. Over 50% of listings have been on the market for longer than 3 weeks. So the market is not as rosy as some people want you to believe. And in July, 195 of them were canceled. More than likely, they came back on the market, maybe at a different price, or the sellers just were not happy with the market, so they took it off the market. But 195 cancellations. This number is very high, because this number would have been very low, because when the market's busy, there's really no need to cancel the listing. And right now, out of the 600 listings available, 128 of them have had to drop their price because they were not getting the price they were looking for. So something to keep in mind, when you start to see these numbers go up, that usually means the market's slowing down. Sales going down, these numbers going up, cancellations going up, price drops going up, that is also a very, very big sign that the market is starting to slow down. There are multiple offers still happening. I'm not saying they're not happening. There are a whole bunch of homes selling above asking price. So the market's not like crashed. It's not, like gone rock bottom by any means. All I'm saying is, compared to 2 months ago, it's night and day. The market has totally changed. Now, if you want to see month by month what has been happening, number of sales is in orange and new listings are in blue. So sales have dropped all the way. Like I showed you before, they are sitting right around what was happening in the month of February, and new listings are also down. Generally because summer is slow anyways, so a lot of people, go on vacation, they're doing other things. So not many people are putting their house up for sale. You probably might see a bit of a bump back in the fall market, but a lot depends on what Bank of Canada does. Active listings. This is the key stat to look at. Active listings, like look at the gap between active listings and number of homes sold back in March. Like March, not a huge gap right there. In April, not a huge gap, pretty much almost the same and almost the same. But now you can see the gap increasing. So that means a lot more listings are sitting at the end of the month on the market, which means more selection, which means less chaos, which usually means less multiple offers, and so on and so on. And eventually it will get to prices. But right now, yeah, there's a big gap between number of sales and active listings. As I mentioned before, I do know Oakville quite well. So if you need help buying or selling in Oakville, happy to help. You can call or text me at this number, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.